I'm very excited. I've been talking to this coach throughout the week, and I cannot tell you this is going to be a banner call. So let me just give her the proper introduction, guys. She is a 5-star coach. She's a 2019 Premier Coach, an SC10 All-Star Legend. And guys, she is ranked currently number 8 in the entire network. She is crushing it. She is from White Lake, South Dakota. Please help me welcome Hailey Peters. Hailey, how are you?
Good. Thanks, Kevin.
Great. Glad to have you on. And so let's get this thing started. There are many coaches who always have a story of how they got started and why they got started. And a lot of coaches want to hear your story behind all of that. So let's kick that off right now.
Well, I'm so grateful to be here speaking to you guys. And honestly, I remember the exact day I became a coach like it was yesterday. And it's a full circle moment because I feel like it was just yesterday I was setting the goal to speak on the National Wake Up Call. I remember watching the National Wake Up Call every Monday as a brand new coach and being like, oh, one day, I hope that I can be asked to speak. So it's such a full circle moment, and I'm so grateful. But so that day I decided to become a coach. To be honest, I was at a really low point in my life. I had things going on with family, alcoholism, family separation. I was stressed financially, being a new cosmetologist, paying for a wedding. And I'd hit a plateau in my weight loss journey, and I just wasn't confident in who I was. The spark in my life, honestly, just was out. And I lacked friendships, which made me feel really alone. And I guess you could say I was just depressed. The spark wasn't there. And I remember sitting on the couch one evening, scrolling Instagram, and a transformation photo came up on my scroll. And I literally said under my breath, I want those results. And I clicked it, and it was a transformation photo from the Shift Shop program. So I clicked this girl's profile and I creeped. I watched her stories. I learned more about her and how much she had in common with me, from our depression to being a hairstylist. And I continued to follow her for days behind the scenes. The more she shared, the more intrigued I became, from getting results in her house, now working from home, traveling rewards from her job, and the huge community of friendships she had via social media. So I finally messaged her and told her I had been watching her and I was interested in doing the program she was doing. And she gave me the information on the challenge pack, and I told her I would think about it a few days. Deep down, I was actually trying to figure out a way to afford it because I didn't have much money, and I was scared if I bought it that it wouldn't work. Not kidding you, that challenge pack never left my mind. It's all I thought about. Katie messaged me a few days later to follow up, and I threw my hands up in the air and I said, I'll do it. She signed me up as a discount coach, knowing I was tight on money and needed to save as much as I could. And when I got my challenge pack, I went all in on the 21-day fix. You guys, and I think that main reason was because of the investment. I was like, I've got to make this work. So I took my day one photos. I used Shakeology every single day. I did my workout and I focused on eating better. I also decided, this is crazy looking back, but I also decided to share on my social media that I was committing to a 21-day program because I knew if I did, I would have to complete it and I would have to have a transformation to show in 21 days. It honestly was just for my own accountability. It was like my push and drive to not give up. 21 days later, I had a transformation. I felt on top of the world and I was bleeding Beachbody programs. After 21 days, I couldn't help but share what I had been doing. And that's where my coaching business began.
I need to bring up a few points, Hailey. That is So powerful, that introduction. And what I want to bring out are 3 points that every successful coach has. So coaches, if you're listening in, pay attention to these 3 points, because this happened with Hailey and it can happen with you. Number one, there is power behind before and after pictures and before and after stories. What got her to stop scrolling wasn't her drinking a shake. It was this before and after picture. Those are incredibly powerful. But what got her to stick around, what got her to stop was the before and after. What got her to stick around were the stories and the relatability stories that came with those pictures. That's number one. Number two, when Hailey decided to go all in, she went all in. You do not give this a half-hearted attempt. You go all in on the program and you decide, look, this is an investment in me. And if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this the right way because I deserve the results that I want to get. And so she went all in, and in 21 days got not only a physical transformation, but more importantly, a mental transformation. And because of that, that got her excited. And the third thing is, she held herself accountable through social media. Accountability is the unsung hero of the transformations that exist out there. You need to be held accountable to the things that you're going to do. The biggest lie we tell ourselves is that we can do it on our own. That is the biggest lie. You have to do this in different accountability ways. She decided to do this publicly on social media by showing up, knowing that there were people watching, and she had to do this. Those 3 things are the recipe to a very successful start to Beachbody. Hailey, I don't need to jump in so much, but I just love those points. So let's now get to the meat of this conversation, the training, and your story is almost that. I remember when you talked to me about this, how excited I am about this topic you have of being a challenger first, of finding that joy, finding that excitement, and then using that to build your business. So I'm going to turn the time over to you. Coaches, pay attention. She has a lot of good things to say.
Yeah. So because of the way I got started with my business, I'm such a firm believer that we have to first build a platform before we can get anyone to join us. You've got to build a mental platform. There's nothing that is going to give you more confidence behind an invite, behind sharing on social media, than having something change you personally. And so mentally, you've got to, that 21-day fix, like Kevin said, mentally changed me. I mentally had no doubt that this could change someone's life because it changed mine. Mentally, I had no doubt about my invite because it was changing me. Physically, building that foundation because that's what got me. That transformation photo is what got me. So having that 21-day fix change me physically and give me confidence to look in the mirror gave me confidence to spread the word about it. And then social media, that platform, that showing people what you're doing. So when I send an invite, it's not a cold message because people already know just by my social media, by me sharing on my stories every day what I'm doing, by me talking about, where I was before. And it's just, I think so often when someone decides they want to coach, they feel lost and scared to reach out to people to join them. They don't have the confidence, and their mindset is, I think once I get someone to join me and, if I sign someone up, I'll start to get confidence to share more on social media and send invites. When in reality, it has to be the other way around. You have to first open up on social media. You have to share what you're doing. You have to share your story and the journey you're on. And I'm talking all stages, the raw, the real, the beginning, the modifying, and be proof that what you're committed to is worth it. Then once you've shown, the inviting is easier. They already know what you're talking about when you send that invite because you've been showing them. They already have an idea of the foods they would be eating and the products they would be using by you showing them. They would be able to relate to your story and envision themselves where you are. They would feel and trust that the connection when you send a message just from what you've been sharing on your social media rather than randomly sending them a message about joining you and they have no idea what you're talking about or wonder if it even works because they haven't seen any proof or anything from you. So with that being said, the number one thing I tell my coaches is our main focus, number one thing waking up every day isn't signing people up. Because I think back to when I, did that 21-day fix, I was not inviting, I was not worried about signing people up. I was focused on me and my journey and the program I was on and getting results and finding happiness. And our main focus needs to be us as a challenger. You need to wake up every day thriving on a program, getting results, loving a program, believing in the products and using them daily, and embracing the challenge group and the community aspect of these programs. Because when you're bleeding Beachbody, when you're feeling amazing and your belief behind these programs is deep, the sharing it to others becomes so natural. In fact, you shouldn't be able to hold back wanting others to know about it. And when your focus and your happiness is you, when someone says no or doesn't respond to you, it doesn't shut you down because your mindset is, okay, I'm still high on life. I feel amazing and I'll go share the opportunity to someone else. Rather than putting your main focus on signing people up, getting a no, and then you suddenly are discouraged and putting your joy in other people's responses, which means your love for Beachbody is going to fizzle and you're going to start to question why you're coaching. At the end of the day, I can tell you, I honestly do not care if anyone joins me today, because whether they do or don't, I'm still going to be waking up every day, doing these programs and bleeding blue. They make me so happy. Sharing on my social media it's just what I love. It brings me joy and I feel confident. I have energy, all because of these programs. And I wasn't this happy 4 years ago without them. When someone does join me, it's like an added happiness. But without sharing your journey and your story and what you're doing to thrive, no one's going to see the benefit of joining you. And honestly, I think the mindset shift we had at the new year brought our joy back and lit that fire. Towards the end of 2020, we all had our joy in other people's hands. And by that, I mean, we were so focused on getting people to join us and trying to hit Success Club that we weren't thriving personally. We weren't putting ourselves first as challengers to have that spark and fire for a program. We were waking up stressed about getting a yes from someone. And then when people didn't respond or they said not right now, it just it brought us down. And we started to fill ourselves with self-doubt. When we came into 2021, I told my coaches, you know what? We need to remind ourselves that we decided to coach and share our love for these programs because we were thriving from them and we couldn't help but share it. Going back to that mindset brought our spark back. Making sure that once we decide to coach, our number one goal should not change. It shouldn't be getting someone to say yes to join us. It should be waking up with a passion for a program and sharing it. Then our next focus is getting others on board and having them do it with us. But if you're thriving, your passion and spreading the word, I promise you, it's just going to flow out and become so much more natural. So wrapping this up, I want to share my motto that I have stuck to since deciding to coach. Heck, I had to look in the mirror and say these words to myself just to be here to talk to you today. Chase butterflies. I heard those words at NLC and they forever have stuck with me. When you have butterflies in your stomach about something, if you're scared to post on social media, chase those butterflies. Just go for it. Because if I've learned anything from becoming a Beachbody coach, it is this. The people that you are idolizing and those who are celebrating success aren't special, aren't gifted any more than you are. They are simply chasing butterflies, getting uncomfortable, and showing up every single day with their goals and visions in mind. Picture yourself 1 year from now if you do not give up and you keep chasing butterflies. I promise you it will be so, so worth it.
Mic drop. That was amazing. And yes, chase those butterflies. That was from my talk at NLC, and I'm so proud. Somebody picked up the chasing butterflies thing that I talked about. Okay, let me just say this. What gets me so excited, Hailey, about what you just talked about is something that I try to talk about with my coaches as well. And that is this idea of thriving, this idea of thriving no matter what is going on around you, and having such a story, such a transformation that you can't help but talk to other people about it. You can't help but share. It's not so much these MLM terms of I need to go out and then write down a list of 25 people that I know that I should invite, and then I need to copy and paste this cold invite. That is not who we are. Who we are people whose lives have changed for the better, and we can't help but share. And look, guys, she's number 8 for a reason in the network. It's not by accident. It's because she preaches and she follows exactly what she's just talked about. Hey, of this about Beachbody, this idea of the key factors that have played a role in your success. What are those key factors for us?
Sorry, it kind of cut out, Kevin, when you were talking, but the key factors are, I just relate to my story, and I have found that because of my story, I go into my challenge group, and that's where I find my believers. Because if you can go into your challenge group, find those people who believe in the programs, and they have that belief, that's the foundation of a good coach. So I just reach out to them and say, okay, you're killing it. You remind me so much of myself that I think you could, you definitely need to go spread the word. And I would love to get you in to my new coach group. And I would love to just give you some info on coaching. And I firmly believe that you would be a successful coach because you have that belief in these programs. And that's exactly what my story is. Do you have, the reason of this call is just because I think back to my story and I'm like, the first program, I didn't have inviting on my mindset at all. I didn't even have coaching on my mind, to be honest. And then month 2, I was like, okay, I'm going to go find 2 more people to do the next program with me. So I started messaging some friends, and I found 2 friends who wanted to do this. One was a mom, and I had mentioned, yeah, I see you're a mom, and I don't know if I remember you being athletic in high school. And I just thought of you because I do these workouts in my home. You could have your kid right next to you. And I just truly feel so good. And here's my transformation, if you haven't seen it, that I just got last month. And I'm really excited to do another 21-day program. And I would love for you to do it with me. If not, that's totally fine. But let me know your thoughts. I can totally send you more details. And you guys, that she said yes. And I found another person, but I didn't even realize I was coaching. It's just so, sometimes I think we overcomplicate it, but the simplicity is you've just got to spread your story. You've got to spread your love for the programs. And by doing that, you're coaching. And like I said, it wasn't stressful for me because I was going to do that second 21-day program. I was going to do 21-day fixed extreme no matter what. If I didn't find anyone, if I found 100, awesome. If I found 2, perfect. If I didn't find anyone, I was still going to do that program and continue on. So just having that, mentality of, am I thriving? And if you feel like that spark is out, have a gut check. Am I thriving on a program? Where's my spark? And maybe you need to pick a new program. Maybe you need to pick a new workout spot. Maybe you just need to dive into your community more, something, bring that spark back. And then another thing is, just having that belief. You've just got to believe in the programs because the inviting comes so much more natural when you just believe. How would you explain this to your sister? How would you explain it to your mom? That's just how you invite people. Because when you truly believe it and have it change your life, it's so much easier. So yeah, that's just kind of where,
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, look into your challenge group, find the people thriving, find the people killing a program, and instill belief in them. Share that it doesn't take anything special to be a coach. It's just belief behind a program and sharing your story and having it change you.
You just heard it, folks. That's exactly the key factors to her success, and they can be the key factors to your success as well. Thank you for changing our mindset, Hailey.
One more thing, Kevin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
One other thing is the first thing I did as a new coach, watching these national wake-up calls, you guys, there is one thing that hit me after about watching 5 of them was, how when someone comes on and they say how long they've been a coach. By the way, I've been a coach for 4 years now, 4 years this August. And the one thing I picked up right away was, okay, these coaches that I am idolizing and that are speaking on the national wake-up call and hitting elite and have, diamond coaches under them, I haven't found one yet that said she's been a coach for 3 months. They all started their story with, I've been a coach for 7 years. I've been a coach for 9 years. I've been a coach for 11 years. And I was like, all right, Hailey, you're going to be here in 10 years. If you you can't compare your now to where they are, because you have to remember they were once a 3-month coach, not yet elite, not yet speaking on the national wake-up call. You've got to put your mindset on right now. Okay, 8 years from now, I'm going to be here. 8 years from now, that's going to be me saying I'm elite. 10 years from now, I'm going to be on that national wake-up call. 5 years from now, I'm going to have 5 diamond coaches. So if you're right now watching me, or if you're right now looking at elite leaderboards going out and just, if you get discouraged, I just want to remind you, time in this business with consistency and passion is going to get you there. But you've got to show up every day, every single day, through the ups, through the downs. And you've got to just envision where you're going to be in 5 years. Because that keeps me going. I still have goals that I have not met yet. But I keep saying, you know what? The coach that I saw hit that goal, she's been doing this 3 years longer than I have. So 3 years from now, that'll be me. I know it will be, but you've just got to keep showing up. I could have gotten really discouraged 2 years ago asking myself, why the heck have I not been asked to speak on the national wake-up call? But you know what? My 4-year mark was that time. So I'm glad I didn't give up on this goal. I'm glad I didn't give up on the vision. And it's just crazy when you have that long-term mindset with coaching, and then you put everything I just talked about and you keep that passion, it makes the journey so much more enjoyable. And that's what, and like I was telling Kevin when we kind of had a talk, I said, if we're going to be here for 10 years, we have to make sure that it's fun every day. We have to make sure it's enjoyable. And that's why I think it's so important to just make sure you're waking up every day, putting yourself first, having that long-term vision, and just make sure that your spark is there.
Come on. That was such an awesome way to end. And I do remember us having that conversation. I'm so glad you remembered to bring that up, because that right there, Coach, that right there is a topic all in itself. And you have to have a strong enough why to be here for 5 years, for 10 years, because it's not always roses and rainbows along the way. But yeah, if you stick around, guys, the compound effect works. And it really does. Hailey, what an awesome call. Thank you so much for this. This has been so fun for joining us. And I wish you the best. And I can't wait to continue to watch you skyrocket to the top. Thank you so much, Hailey.
Thank you so much.
Coaches, as we wrap this up, this has been such an amazing call. Look, if I were Carl, I would change the tagline of our company to "Tell Your Story." Because that's the thing that gets people to say yes to you. That's the thing that instills trust and belief and offers the value. Your story matters. Somebody needs to hear it. Get out there. Share your story because you want to, because Beachbody has changed your life. You are a challenger first, and you cannot help but share the love and the joy that Beachbody has brought you. Guys, have a phenomenal week. And I cannot wait to see Sandy next week here on the National Wake Up Call. Have a great week, guys. We will see you later.